Step right up, let's take the dive. Crypto world is coming alive. From XRP to the blockchain beat. Join the crew, we're pioneers meet. Got builders, dreamers, paving the way. Multi-chain vibes, we're here to stay. Wanna know? Don't wait, let's go. Dip a toe, join the Web3 flow. Take a step, explore the scene. Dip a toe, show, living the dream. From the ledger to the stars we climb. Crypto's future, it's our time. Dip a toe, yeah, take that chance. Join the vibe, let's crypto dance. Faces of crypto, stories we share. Early adopters, they're everywhere. From XRP to the Web3 wave. Bold moves, only we're here to pave. Melissa and Simon, they light the way. Every week it's a crypto play. Wanna know? Don't wait, let's go. Dip a toe, join the Web3 flow. Take a step, explore the scene. Dip a toe, show, living the dream. From the ledger to the stars we climb. Crypto's future, it's our time. Dip a toe, yeah, take that chance. Join the vibe, let's crypto dance. Let's crypto dance. No advice, just a spark to ignite. Do your research, keep your vision tight. Community strong, we're building the way. Dip a toe show, here to stay. Take a step, explore the scene. Dip a toe show, living the dream. From the ledger to the stars we climb. Crypto's future, it's our time. Dip a toe, yeah, take that chance. Join the vibe, let's crypto dance. So take a chance, don't be shy. Crypto's calling, we're reaching the sky. Join the movement, come take a look. Web3's rising, the world's been shook. Ooh.
The world's been shook. Ooh.
Ooh.
How are you doing, Simon?
Man, I'm doing very fantastic right now that I'm here on the Dip a Toe show with you. I really am. Very much need this outlet to be with the digital peoples, especially you. So to my sister from another mister.
Man, you guys, you would think that Simon and I would be talking all the time, but we literally get
This is
like
This is our phone
15
call.
minutes before each show to chat because we are literally so busy. And so this is our time. And then, of course, we have the After Dark space at 10:10. So we get like 9 minutes to talk after the show. And then it's like, gotta go to the After Dark space. So it's crazy how busy we both are. But my brother from another mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's been going good with you? You're still working So I'm
doing the sheet metal. I've been helping Alan Staple and the crew there with like 2 opportunities. So I've been helping onboard people with that, and then helping onboard new people that don't know anything about crypto to these opportunities.
Very nice.
So that takes a little bit. But you know what? It's been actually really good because like this wave of people that I've been helping that are like newbies, littles, they're littles to the crypto space. They're actually catching on pretty quick. Where those of us like early adopters were like, what? I still get the whats, but I think what's going on in the background is the person that referred to person. I mean, like there's a connection there, so they're helping along, and it's just
they kind of filter that information through a little bit, and then you take it to a higher level.
Yes, but there's one thing that keeps it's just in the back of my mind because it's one of those things that you can't unseen and can't unknow, and that's our most precious asset, our time. So at work, it's hard not to want to pick up my phone, help people real quick, or just go, I want to be at my desk at my house.
Same.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
It's just like,
totally.
but I know, I mean, I know I could, but the reality is like, I got a lot of good things
It's
going. This
tough.
is not the time to cave. This is
It's
the
not.
time to
It's
really dig in and just like say, okay, I might have bad attitudes for brief moments in time, but I am human. This is a thing.
same.
I promise
Same.
I have love for everybody, but the soul is dark right now and it's scary.
I feel, I think there's a lot of people going through this right now. The times are a little bit uneasy. Everything, what you're busy, prices are high. There's all this crazy stuff happening in the world. But then we get little bits and pieces of great, fantastic information that keeps us grounded and knowing that us early adopters are right. We're right. We've always been right. And everything's coming. I don't know if you heard, but the the Tangem wallet are now available at the Best Buy stores. At the
Oh
Best Buy
no.
stores.
I would
Guys,
still buy it from the factory. I would not buy
yeah,
it from that Best
I
Buy.
know. I know that it is, but I mean,
That's cool.
this is a
This is a huge.
fantastic indication that they're feeling comfortable enough to start putting these in the stores where they obviously they believe they're going to get sales, right, or they wouldn't do it. So that's very
And
good news. It's very cool.
let's take that from a business aspect, right? And then I'm going to bring this back around to adoption. So this move, right, honestly, is a strategic move with a well-known store that arguably has been like very much down in the dumps as far as sales, products, even stuff on the
Good
shelves, right?
point.
Combination. They got hit twice. They got hit twice in the face with a baseball bat. Part of the graphic term for those that have graphic minds. Amazon came to town and really wrecked a lot of just like big box stores. Okay, we all know that, but that's just an advancement of technology and etc. And then you have like the 2020 snafu and achoo, and I had a and that too also just dropped them down, forced more people to Amazon online. Got those of us that are like, maybe someday. Well, when the 2020 achoo came, we all pivoted that way, and that was the only place that was open. Like, I don't feel good today. I'm gonna buy myself something. Click, and we did in droves. So now here is like a good partnership. Hey, we would like to get our product out there into the stores. It's time. We're doing it. Let's go. Who can we go with? Best Buy is like, hey, that's still our genre. Your people that you're trying to reach still come to the place, right?
Yep.
That's still the thing. Like I occasionally go there because I have a default of like, no, I want to go look at this thing before I buy.
I'm going to touch it and feel it and look
I
at it.
touch it, right? That's still the
I want to see that it's legit in a store.
Yeah, I want to see it's legit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not into reading model numbers. I just want to like that's the brand. Okay, yep, that's it. All right, let's buy it. So now here it is. These people can just. I went down to Best Buy and bought this thing, and it's a great strategic fit. Like this could really allow Best Buy to pivot from the kind of the what do you want to call that? What do you call that? Slump they've been in, and now they are jumping in, arguably, or dipping their toe, more than likely, into the crypto space with a physical thing. If this goes well, what other crypto types of products can we offer here? I bet $20 here right now on the record. They will have the Geek Squad do crypto classes.
Yeah. Oh, they will.
Yes.
If they're not already doing it.
So
right?
If you're looking for a job that's like close to home,
yeah,
and crypto, right? Go down and apply.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if it is. That'd be great. I'd buy.
I was trying to find. So our good friend Stone, he did a little commercial for Tangem wallet.
Did he?
Yeah, they have a contest going. Apparently, we can enter it as well. It's called like the 20 winners will walk away with a full self custody merch kit, jersey, scarf, stickers, la 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 la. Limited edition Tangem wallet. You have to create a video, either showing your best soccer move or talk about what self custody is to you.
Oh, this is for FIFA.
Yeah. Yes, they are. But Stone's contest that he did, if I could find it, he did a little thing where he walked in the store and was showing that like, oh, it's in Best Buy now, and it's really cool. And if I wish I could find
Did
it.
he did he do the hype one? Did he do the you guys come here. We're at Best Buy. Quick shot.
Oh, he was
come
smooth. He was
Yeah?
smooth. If I can find it, I'll pull it up, or if somebody can send it to me on my X account, I'll pull it
That's
up
cool.
for everybody to see it. Really cool. We got 25 people in here, and I wanted to say hello. Of course, Silver was first.
Silver.
I can't pull his comment up, but I said I love you, Silver. And then William had said you got to get up early to be first in this chat. And then we have, of course, Mrs. Says Crypto, and we got
She's so
Dot
hot.
Biz 369 says, "What up, Dipito?" I said, "What
Yo,
up,
Dot.
Biz?"
I
and
like
happy
the
Hollow
after. I like the 369 there too.
Happy Hollow Shrooms 2028. That is Uncle Ron. And now,
That's Uncle Ron.
So tonight, guys, we have a special guest in our second hour. We're going to do a deep dive into the Canton Network. And our special guest is Scott Long of LongView Compute. And Scott's going to come and break down exactly what Canton Network is. And we're going to chat a little bit about it before he gets in here. But we're also going to talk about the Grayscale's recent filing for a Canton ETF and what that could possibly mean for the Canton Network, which, I mean, it signals institutional interest, potential benefits, and the realities around token supply concentration and all of that. So I'm very interested to hear what his thoughts are on that. And then also Scott is going to walk us through his LongView Crew app. He's created a retail app for on-ramping folks with education, non-custodial tools, and DeFi features to help users learn how to transact and engage safely on the Canton Network. So we are really looking forward to having him come on the show and talk to us about that. So if you guys are in here, know that Scott's coming on at 9 p.m. But until he gets here, there's a couple things. Oh, we got Clay Howerton in the house too. Welcome, Clay. And Susan, winner, chicken dinner.
And you know what? I want to pause. I want to pause on Susan. Susan, you need to come to Vegas with us next year. Okay. And you just got to sit at the table with us. Okay. You just tell us where to put the money. We just put the money there.
Just
maybe
be with us 50-50 somewhere. Right. I mean, we just
what machine? What's the good machine?
Hours, Susan. We're just gonna need you to hang out with us for a few hours and let us know what number
3
we're
days
supposed to
later
play.
and two penthouse suites, two penthouse suites, and later.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to talk about before we get Scott in here, so a lot of people get confused, or they have their ideals about XRPL, and XRP itself is this asset that's going to just do everything, and we say a lot on this show, like, it is an interoperable world. There's different use cases for different things. XRP definitely can be used for a variety of different things. But one of the things that really piqued my interest a while back was this thought that that XRP is kind of moving from being thought of as just a bridge asset. And it is, it's positioned as a bridge asset for fast, low cost cross-border payments. And it does enable instant conversions between the different currencies without pre-funding in the Nostro Vostro accounts. We've all heard about that, okay? And it does remain a core use case for XRP. However, I was listening to some stuff the other day, and now, guys, again, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I'm just kind of mind dumping, throwing this out there. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on it. This is something that I want to expand on a little bit deeper down the road, just for myself to kind of wrap my mind around it. But someone mentioned that XRP is evolving into more of a central core capital or utility-rich protocol token in emerging institutional finance for like the tokenized capital markets and on-chain DeFi. And so it positions itself as a foundational infrastructure rather than just being an intermediary for transfers. This is what it was saying. And in fact, I wrote it down, like someone had said, and I can't remember if it was someone from the DTCC that had mentioned this, but it was an interview, and they were saying it was moving away. It was kind of how I always say we kind of graduate. We all graduate in this environment. The more that you learn. Of course, I can't find. It's evolving from a bridge to backbone core collateral for a new capital market. And I was like, well, what does that mean, really? That sounds pretty fancy. And we all know that it's like liquid, right? It's liquid. So you want something to be moving that is extremely liquid and quick.
Think of it as escrow account, cash in the escrow account if the deal goes bad. Resi! That's how I look at that. It's like, okay, well, or in one way, doing a business deal. Well, here's the collateral. Oh, you have this. Okay, great. We're going to leave that in smart contract. As long as you meet up all the things, the deal is done. Then you can get your collateral back as far as a business deal. Even simple stuff. Hey, we'll give you a better rate if you use XRP as the collateral for your home. Right? No deposit, but you have the collateral. You miss X amount of payments, blah, 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 or something along those lines. Very much so. If you think of dollars, even like dollars back in the day, at some point were used as collateral. Well, we need
right.
We need you to do a deposit, and if everything turns out okay after your apartment check and all that, you get the money. Well, you get some money back. Not anymore. They just keep it. But nonetheless, that would be a form of collateral a thing that you put up to engage in a deal or an agreement, and then hopefully, by the grace of God, you're able to reclaim the collateral because you get all the check. That's how I kind of think about all that initially, just for real world.
Yeah, and I mean, even like Bitcoin, kind of a similar situation here. And when you really think about it, the things that have value, especially something that you can't see, right? It goes along with the trust and the notion that everyone else accepts this as being valuable. Just like the dollar, everybody accepted that it's valuable. This is money. We're taught that this is money, and etc. Right? And so, Bitcoin has been around for a really long time. XRP has been around for a really long time. It's been gaining trust all these years. It has regulatory clarity. It is silently been, well, not even silently, I guess, to the outside world that's not giving this attention. It might seem silent. Those that are giving it attention, it hasn't been that silent, right? If you've been giving this your attention, you would see these things, but it is growing the trust amongst institutions. It's lending itself credibility with every partnership that Ripple itself, the company, which, you know, Kita is always keen. Our friend Kita from Kita's Brew, she's always smart to say, you know, there is a difference between XRP and XRP Ledger and Ripple, the company, right?
Exactly.
You know, they're not the
Very
same
much
thing.
there is.
They're not the same thing. However, Ripple, the company, does utilize and depend on XRP and the XRP ledger for a lot of the stuff that they do.
Right.
It is a piece of the puzzle, but it's more decentralized, you know, and for people to use the ledger and XRP itself for different use cases, right? And so eventually, you know, I mean, I don't want to say eventually, they are separate, but
Yeah.
they are acting as the trust for what it is, right? What is XRP Ledger? Now you have like XRPL Commons, you have shows like Coffee and Crypto with Stone on X, you have Dipito Show, you have all of these people that are studying on XRP Ledger, what it does, what it's capable of. They're building on the ledger, just like you have people on these other chains, on these other blockchains that have their audiences. They're building the trust in their system. We're all kind of working towards the same goal, because at the end of the day, it's all going to have to interoperate with each other. Why? Because it has to. And you want choice. You don't, it's not going to be one blockchain to rule them all. Right?
No, it cannot be. Like, it literally cannot be. I mean, you would have to, from a coding perspective, even with AI right now, good luck AI, you would have to code in every tiny little function and thing that we do everywhere into the world all at the same time. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's nah.
Optimistic Prime is building the Wandering Footprint, right? Her website, wanderinghome.directory, she's building that from scratch, and all of the things that you have to think about. Now, is it exactly the same thing as replacing the financial system and the way we do commerce in the world and all that?
Yes.
Is it exactly the same? No. But does it employ the same concept in terms of thinking out for future, like what one little thing is built on another is built on another is built on another.
Yeah.
You don't want one entity being responsible, one blockchain being responsible for that. And the other thing is, you know, with Bitcoin, everybody thought they bought into the fact that it was an anonymous blockchain. You could go on there, you were anonymous, nobody knew that you were doing. Yeah, well, you could see every transaction, right? XRP Ledger, same thing. You're buying NFTs, you can trace them down to the person, right? So do we want all of this stuff out there? If you have a checking account somewhere and you're doing your banking on chain, right? And you know, do I want somebody looking into my stuff and seeing? No, you don't. And so you have these creating networks of networks. Canton Network. And again, I'm not an expert. We're going to bring one that has been spending a lot of time gaining a great understanding of how the Canton Network works. But, you know, they offer that privacy, right? I think there's a new card available soon on Uphold where your credit limit is secured by your crypto holdings. See, yes, right? I mean, all these little things that we're beta testing, and I still say we're so early. We are the beta testers of all this stuff, but it's becoming more and more accepted and used.
Do you remember we had Patrick L. Riley on? I want to say it was either his most recent time on here or just before that, where he mentioned that the adoption of the tech lags far beyond the creation of said tech. Okay. So tech was created, still being created, arguably, right? But now you have, like, the adoption of the tech has happened. Like, those have said, okay, we'll take this under our wing for a minute. And now, back to what you were saying earlier, just brief moments ago, the trust has been built and others are trusting the trust. Like, okay, this does work. Okay, yes, I am seeing what you have been trying to share with us, Ripple Company, in our big institution. Like, okay, yeah, we're seeing this now. Yeah, this is working. At that realization and the trust, and now you have a bigger adoption, and that's just the lag. I mean, we've been doing this show 4 years,
Yeah,
3
almost
years.
3 years. Yeah. Yeah.
We definitely been
Wild.
doing it 3 years
Yeah.
because we missed the first XRP Las Vegas with Alan.
Yeah.
Right, I know we missed that. We were doing it just before that October, but it was on another
Mhm.
channel. It shall not be named. Um, Harry Potter reference, and yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny.
We watched Harry
But,
Potter over the weekend.
oh,
Ryan,
I love Harry Potter.
listen,
Did you watch them all? Did you watch them all?
Side note. No, I don't think he's
Okay.
watched them all, and I haven't watched them all. But so he is on like summertime schedule where he's teaching distance learning. So he's home, and he got into this Harry Potter thing where he's watching Harry Potter, and I'm like,
Oh,
"You are so
dude.
and so when we went up north this weekend, we were laying in the hotel room and turned on the TV, and guess what was on? Harry
yeah.
Potter. And he's like,
Hell
"Oh,
yeah.
cool! I haven't seen this one." So I did watch a Harry Potter with him, and yeah,
Which one was
very
it?
awesome.
What was it?
I don't know. I don't.
What were they?
know.
What were they doing? What were they doing?
He looked like he was older. It was one of the later ones, and it's when the guys they came and fought him, and they all started they were like all like demon looking things coming at them. They were in that big room where it was like all a bunch of glass balls or something,
Yeah,
and then they all started falling and
yes.
exploding.
Yeah, that's the Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, see, okay,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, dude, I have not
Ryan
read the
probably
books.
knows too.
But I have, and I really should read the books. I know that Harry Potter fans are like, well, you ain't never read the books. I went the movie route, but I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Megan and I will, like, if I'm sick, I will default to watch all of those in a row.
Yeah.
If I'm sick, that's one of my go-to sagas or series because I always enjoy them. It's crazy too.
Baby, I
like,
need the Potter.
Yeah. Honey, we put the Potter on, please.
I made the Potter, baby.
Yeah, I mean, but of course, it's British accent. Love British accent. I'm a huge fan. But recently, when I was sick, I watched them, and man, I was sitting here like, oh man, I was like 24 or 24, 25 when I saw the first one on DVD, which means it came out like a year before. And I was like, shit, dude, I'm like 46, 47. Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago. But side note, HBO Max is redoing the Harry Potter movies, but they're making it a TV series. So rumor has it they're going to bring in a lot more of the detail from the books.
Okay.
To like articulate that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm like, oh, HBO Max, you got me for another year, you sneaky bastards. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you're watching that. That's really creative, fun stuff. It really is. It's a sim and a gem, in my opinion.
And sometimes, you just need a break from all of this, I mean, especially, so this is, well, did you finish what you were talking about before I started interrupting you about Harry Potter? Because there is one thing that I wanted to mention while we got some time before Scott.
Yeah, just the lag of that you're talking. You're what we're seeing now is that lag we've been in, but now it's the adoption of that tech is really is very present, and the more it gets adopted, you have like the Black Friday 65-inch big screen TV rush to the tech, right? The using of it, and then what happens after that? You're gonna need to buy our tokens in order to operate this system. Hello, I have some for a pretty penny. Anyways,
well,
there you go. I'm done with that.
The thing that's really interesting too, and again, we're going to let Scott talk about it, but just a little bit that I've learned. there's some similar tokenomics. What we learned about the Zebek network, where their token, it's kind of like the gas token that you pay using, and then they burn it, but they create some and then they burn it, and they're kind of creating this wheel. It sounds like the Canton network is similar, where they burn the token, it gets created, and but it kind of supports that value for the gas token itself. So I think that's pretty interesting. But the main thing is over time, you do build that trust. And when somebody comes out like Canton Network and people are like, wait a minute, where are these guys coming from? I thought it was going to be, Bitcoin, or I thought it was going to be Ethereum, or I thought it was going to be XRP. And now we're talking this, like what, and you're like, you have to have these different protocols that are all going to be, they're going to specialize in this, It's kind of like at work. You can't possibly do every single job that's at your job. You need somebody that specializes in HR and, whatever. Well, now with AI, who knows what's going to happen with all that? But
even AI will use different systems. It will use the existing things that are there, like
it has to. Each thing has its place, right? That they're an expert at. Jack of all trades, master of none, sort of thing. You don't want something to say they do everything. You want what they do to do, and do it very well, right? And you want it to be able to work with everybody else. Simon deserves a break.
I second this. I second this. I totally second this. I totally need a break. Clay does. Clay's a crypto homie, and he and I talk. He's a gentleman from Missouri. By the way, if you ever play pool with Clay against him, you're going to lose your money. I'm just telling you that right now. You're going to lose your money.
Shh.
Yeah.
Don't tell. Don't tell anybody, Clay.
Well, maybe I'm lying. I could be lying. Yes. Yeah, you're right, Clay. Simon definitely needs a timeout, a big timeout. But the systems, look at this right now. Okay. Look at your phone. There are multiple systems to run your phone to see this. If you're watching this on your phone right now, by the way, if you're watching it like this, if you turn it like this, you can see us bigger on your screen.
Big screen.
Big screen. Pro tip. Pro tip.
Little
pro tip. Something else though, too. When the .com boom was happening, there were some jolly green giants out there. Arguably they're still around. Yahoo is one of them, right? But nobody knew of Google. There was multiple search engines out there back then, and one of them was Google. Okay, Nobody knew about Amazon. Amazon wasn't even a blip. It wasn't even a blip on the radar yet. It hadn't become the blipness. Wasn't even there yet, and then it came out and did its thing. And now look at it. And I'm bringing this up because of, hey, I thought it was going to be this. Well, things change.
Yes.
Things change, things evolve and grow. What this was, someone found how to do it better. Example, crypto historical reference. On the first day, there was the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin was the only one that can do good things. Along came a team of inspirational people with critical thinking minds and said, bro, that's way too slow. Let's see if we can do better. And thus was born this mystical coin, thus, as you know it to be XRP. Well, things are evolving. People are going, that's great. I like that. I like that. I like that. Can we adapt this, something like that, to do this? To meet this means, it's always evolving, So if you feel like something is the competition, Coke, Pepsi, bro, you're in the soda game. Buy both. Buy Pepsi. Buy Coke, buy Dr. Pepper, Fanta, Mountain Dew, maybe a little heavy on the Mountain Dew, whatever, Gatorade, Propel. I mean, the list goes on. Look at the beverage section of a grocery store now. it rivals the frozen food section. It literally does. Let's not go down a health food topic, but just to bring that around, it's always evolving, always. So think, grow, dip that toe, and don't hate, appreciate.
Don't
There's
hate,
something else,
appreciate.
another opportunity y'all can get into, and because they're going to be doing good things, love them or hate them, it doesn't matter. If they have a good product and it's serving and it's solving a problem, yeah, I'm gonna put 10 on black.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, and one of the things, this is the reason why, like, I definitely want to expand. I say expand your thinking. I want to diversify, like Miss says, um,
Yeah.
because there are so many opportunities out there right now. Different protocols, layer ones, people building different opportunities, and when you are an early adopter like we are, sometimes we put ourselves in a little box and we don't see the outside, and we miss out on some great opportunities that were right there the entire time. Now I've known about Canton Network for a while. Like, I mean, it's probably been 2 years since
2 years.
I with my plethora of notepads and whatnot that I have everywhere. I must have written that down 25 times. Right.
And on the 26th time, she bought the token.
I mean, it's the same thing with XPR Network and Metallicus and all of that. All of the work that they're doing with the small community banks and the credit unions and that. Right. Every one of these these players they're working on something specific.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned collateral.
Uh-huh.
And then you said credit unions, and I just got a download of the collateral. Hey, you got to have this here in order to do a transaction with each other, and then once it's done, you get your collateral back. Like what are they called? Repos, not repos for cars, but bank repos.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. Which right. This is where I think this is where Scott's going to come in and really talk about, because you want to be able to move those things quickly too, right? You need to have that in the middle. Yeah. But I believe that Canton Network is building that kind of the private, and a lot of people, especially if you got into Bitcoin, they don't like they're a lot against the banks, a lot against the institutions, and I understand a lot of that thinking, but you also have to ask yourself again: do you want everybody peering into your business? No. Do you think these big institutions want everybody peering into their business? No. If they're moving assets back and forth quickly and all of that, do you want that to be exposed on chain for everybody to see? No. Do I want my government to be on chain? Yeah, I do. I want to see it. I want to see what they're doing. But
but even then, they don't want to be all on chain.
Right. You have to realize that there's a lot of these things that come into play, and with the regulations and licensings and all these things. This is just a lot bigger than, having an idea and then you're going to do this, right? You're going to just move by yourself. I do think that there are like huge opportunities for us to do peer-to-peer commerce, but I'm not talking about that, right? We're talking about people, getting loans from institution, putting up collateral and all of these things. You don't want your private business being shown on chain where everybody can see that you put up XYZ to take this loan out or whatever, or how much you have in a money market fund or whatever. So I think these things are. Now, what I did want to talk about before Scott got here, a lot of people are bummed out because of
Where are they bummed?
because there, some people that just dipped their toe not too long ago, they bought in and they saw the little going down. Somebody said they bought XRP at like $1.11 or something the other day,
Good for you.
and Bitcoin, people were buying Bitcoin, low, but people that bought it when it was up there 100,000, whatever, to see it come down like this is devastating. And for the newbies coming in, you're probably thinking, what have I gotten myself into? Right. So it makes it a little scary for some folks that
Yes,
are coming
yes,
in.
it does. You only lose if you sell, so don't sell. I know it's hard to, and stop staring at your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, literally, stop staring at your phone. You're making it worse. I know it's hard to not, especially in times of mental devastation. Oh my God, the price dropped. I have been there, spent many a moons. Okay, and if that's part of the process, you got to go through it. But you only lose if you sell. Okay. Now, you got into this asset for some reason. Okay. For some reason. Let's just say you saw a good opportunity to make some money. Cool. Well, I would actually go in with more personally. Why? Because I've lowered my price point. So if I bought something at $100,000, and let's say I spent $100, let's make it real. I spent $10,000 on something. The price point was $100,000. Okay, and that asset dropped from $100,000 down to $50,000. Okay, that that sucks. My portfolio is only worth $5,000. Wait a minute. So if I stick in another $5,000, I double up what I had, and now I got a discount. So now my price point was 100,000. I have a new price entry point of 50,000. The difference between the two is 75,000 is my new price point. So I really only have to get it up to that point, or the market. I can't get nothing up in the market. We're gonna move forward. Um, that'll someone's gonna chop that up and use it. I know it.
Yeah.
You gotta pay me royalties. Gotta pay me royalties if you're
Just
gonna
saying.
use that. But yeah, just saying. But right then and there, if that asset goes above that $75,000, you're in the money, sorta. The price is going up, good, but you're not in profit until you what? Sell.
Mhm.
In order to lose or in order to win, you must sell in almost any investment. And I do say almost any investment. Yes, projects have died. Definitely. That's the thing. I've been through those too. But I've come back with buying in more into that asset, had profits, it covered my old principal, and now I have more profits because of that. And so but it's tough. It's really, really hard. I literally feel for y'all being in the every time I buy it goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all say that. It's tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, we can laugh at it now because we've been there. When you're in that moment, screw tradition. I don't care who you are, right? It's emotional. I'm telling you,
Start
don't
looking at
sell.
your phone.
Hold on, and yeah, stop looking at your phone
Well,
for the love of everything holy. Quit looking at your phone.
so I agree with everything you just said. There's been a lot of lessons I've learned since 2019 being in this space, not
Yes,
taking
there is.
profits when I should have, and all those things.
Mm,
We all have to go through that, right?
that's right.
Because you don't trust, you don't know, and when a lot of times when people get into digital asset space, cryptocurrency, um, the first attractive people are the shillers, are the cheerleaders, are the ones pumping, pumping, pumping. And they're always the loudest when the price is pumping. And then when the price goes down, they go a little bit quiet. They're a little
Yeah,
bit
they do one
quiet.
of these.
They ghost you for a while. Then they're like, "Oh, look at here, I'm back."
Oh, I went
You
on
know,
sabbatical.
yeah, like something really happened, so I couldn't be. But no. The thing is, if you know what you hold, if you research and you do your own
Yep.
research, you
Yep.
study up just like you would do if you were going to pick a stock in a company. what does this company do? What are the connections? What is the potential? Think about things logically. Could it have a real world use case or not? Right? You can easily start spotting the difference between a pump and dump, no utility, and a project that has real utility and that's actually trying to build something, right?
That's kind of an interesting topic, to be quite honest. What is utility and how is it created? Where's the line in the sand from non-utility to then utility? What are the components there that make the utility? Aside from, I guess, the project and its ability to do things, but that's ability. Where does the utility come in? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
But what,
I mean,
I guess it would be the utility. It keeps the level of utility is built as the project progresses and acquires more use cases through proof of concept than proof of work.
ding, 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 ding. And
This is my opinion.
people buying into it. So
Yeah,
this
adoption.
This
you
is
need
one
the
of,
adoption.
This is
Yeah.
one of the favorite things that I like. And again, guys, I'm not just pushing XRP and XRP Ledger, but I do happen to spend a lot of time looking into these things and talking with people that are actively building on the XRP Ledger, because it's easy for them to do so. It's inexpensive. They're building things with real world use case. They have these ideas and all of this type of thing. And these tools have been provided for people to use. Now, we're going to find out from Scott when he comes on with the Canton Network. They too have tools that are allow people to build. And so we're going to talk about that. But the thing is like you said,
we should talk about that.
It keeps and so does Metallicus and XBR, probably Ethereum. Like there's a lot of tools on these different.
You know what? We need to have a tool. We need to have a tool night. We need to talk about tools.
Yeah.
I think this is a topic that. Yep. Go ahead. Sorry.
But so what I was going to say is the fact that XRP in it of itself has kind of evolved over from maybe like what the initial concept, like you say, people test it, try it out. Other things are developed. Other tools are added. Security things are added. Permissionless domains, all these types of things that maybe increase the asset's use case. Because I think XR can be used for a lot of different things, and so can some of these other things. So it's the people that are getting involved. They see an opportunity and they're trying to build with it, right? What can I build with this? What can I use this for? And over time, it expands and people begin to trust it more. People begin to start thinking about something as in a certain way that it can be used for. And it makes a difference for that. Maybe some of these things they hadn't even thought about initially. And then you have other smart people that come on and go, hey, wait a second, we can use this for this,
Right.
So,
you bring up a really awesome point there where you have creation of awesome thing, builders and people and just random investors, etc. They see some type of value, use case, etc. And then you have the creatives that go, hey, I think I could use that for this, and then maybe add this on top, right? Add a little flavor to it, whatever that might be. Here's a real world example of what Melissa's talking about right here, right now. I don't know if you've gone to your exchanges lately. I mean, they pretty much got the same layout or apps on, or any wallet on it, like Trust, Exodus, MetaMask. Their layout is relatively okay. You kind of know where to go look for the QR code scanner. You kind of know what button you need. Okay, the receive is usually in the middle or in the bottom. The portfolio button sometimes looks like this, or this. Like, this is a great example of, hey, we're going to take that and apply it over here. We'll change a little things and voila, we have it. You know, that's a perfect example.
It is a perfect example.
Well, maybe not the best perfect example,
I
but
mean,
to
well,
what
it's a good example, and it makes
it's a good example.
sense.
It's
I
okay.
want to say
It's
I
okay.
want to say hello to XR Papa and Jay from FinTech Management Limited, Florida Man Landscaping. Welcome. I'm not seeing a lot of comments. I don't know if I like it's kind of shaded out for me, so I'm not exactly sure. So if you did post something, I apologize. I haven't seen it.
When you click on the comment, it shades it out now.
Oh, okay.
Watch this one here. This is a good one.
No, dibs on
Megan's
Clay.
already saying, "Yeah, I get Clay on my team." Yeah.
Well, one thing I did want to mention, and I am I'm going to talk about I Trust Capital, and the opportunity that is there for you guys. With a crypto Roth IRA and as a diversification in the way in which you contribute to this space, like to the way you invest into cryptocurrency. So if you're somebody that's new, dipping your toe into digital assets, you're not quite ready to self-custody, all of that, there is the opportunity right now, while these prices are much lower than they were even when I tapped my crypto Roth off in 2025, to open one up and dip your toe a little bit in there. And the cool thing about the I Trust Capital account is that you can trade, like swap your tokens within the account, and it's just all happening tax free. So a lot of my hesitation and moving these tokens around, a lot of people do that where they buy a token for a low price and then it goes up and they make a little bit of profit, they sell it, move it into another one, and they kind of do the stair step ladder thing all the way up. Which is great if you've got time and you feel confident and you can do that. It's all good. For someone like myself right now, like I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with the tax consequences of going in and out of assets for small gains. If it was a big gain, yeah, I would worry about it. But we're talking, $100 here, $200 there, whatever. I don't know. I really want to do it. So when I opened my I Trust Capital account and I opened a crypto Roth IRA, now I funded it, which I think the minimum to fund one there is like $1,000 or something to start it, and then you can contribute, over the year, and then there's maximums and all of that. But the thing is that when you're in there, you're able to go in between these different assets, and they have quite a long list of different assets that they allow within the I Trust Capital account. And so in essence, you can kind of train yourself to like buy the dip. And then when you see it going up, you could sell a little bit, hold it all off in the side to RLUSD or in some other kind of more stable asset, and then buy the dip on another one and try to see, can you do that? Can you achieve it? Is it something that you're even interested in doing, rather than just go all wild with it all? So I just am saying, if you do, it's a perfect time to do it, to open it up when these assets are lower, because you're going to get more bang for your buck. If you can only afford to contribute $1,000 to something, you're going to get way more now than you would have last year,
or 2 weeks ago.
And of course, this not financial advice. This show, it says it at the beginning and at the end. This is not financial advice at all. But you really have to think about why you're investing. You have to ask all those questions. How old you are, how long do you got to wait? Do you look at your 401k every 5 minutes? No.
Nobody does that.
Nobody.
Okay, that's not true. There's a few. I actually do know a few that do check in regularly, but you all don't do that. Don't sit there. So if you don't do that with your 401k, don't do that with your crypto portfolio in your phone. Okay, there you go.
Right. Just
go ahead,
saying.
Melissa.
Just saying. So yeah, and in any event, if you're interested, use our affiliate link. You get $100 if you fund your account. Once you fund it, you get $100. So if you click the link and you create an account, you don't have to fund it right this minute. Once you do fund it, you will get $100 bonus in your account, courtesy of the Dip and Toe Show and I Trust Capital. So I highly encourage you to look into it anyway. Just dip your toe into thinking about it.
We're helping you get $100 in your toe jam, baby.
Yeah, get some in your toe
I have a question, and I know I asked.
And Scott's going to come on in 5 minutes, and he said he'll be here. So
perfect.
Yeah, 5 minutes to chit-chat.
I am so. Is it Bryson?
Bryce.
I Trust Capital. Bryce.
Yep.
Sorry, Bryce.
Nielsen. Yeah.
Dang it. I was halfway there, and then I went a little over the top. Do you remember if they allowed some type of API trading hookup?
He was going to look. I think they don't. He was going to look into it, but I think they. I don't know that they do. I know.
Like, dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Hey, for all my IBCers out there, infinite banking concept people, relook at give this some more thought on the iTrust. Here's why. It's long term. You have basically a maximum that you can contribute to, just like your policy. You can't collateralize that to do loans, as far as I know, nor should you, in my opinion. However, this is a bucket that you could fill, right? And then another year, you get another empty bucket, okay? And in the world of investing, you got your short, mid, and long. This would be a great long. And as your life progresses, however old you are, if you're a 30-something or even a barely 40-something, I mean, you have so much time to a degree, but your window for earnings is actually for high earnings it's there, but your window is kind of short and small. So take advantage, really take advantage. I actually just wrote down right there. I trust capital is a bucket. That's telling me, hey, you need to revisit this for yourself.
Baby bucket.
You need to revisit this for yourself. And I think it was like $7,000 for the year, right?
Yeah, like 8,000 for me, I think. For
is it based? Is there
I'm
a parameter?
55, over 55, you get an extra 1,000 that you can contribute to.
Wow.
Okay. That's why I wear black.
Dang, bro. Good thing I got the pit stick on, man. That smells good. But, oh my gosh.
No, here's the thing, guys. I don't want to be a shiller about anything. And if you know anything about the Dip and Toe Show, like we're not pushing this and pushing that. I only suggest things that I really believe in, which I really believe. Caleb and Brown, it's a play. If you want to go in and buy large volumes of an asset in a secure environment and quickly, or sell large volumes of an asset, Caleb and Brown is your place. It is a trusted, it's a trusted entity that, no matter what crypto digital asset that you're involved in, Caleb and Brown, everybody is like Caleb and Brown. They have made that name for themselves. They are trusted. I Trust Capital. They've been around for a long time. They were around. I knew about them before they even offered XRP. And it was Bitcoin. That's when I first learned about them. And, it took me years to pull the trigger and open an account. But I really believe that this is an opportunity for people to diversify and dip their toe into the digital asset space, because while we got these ETFs and all these things coming about, as we talked on the show last week or the week before, sometimes just because that is the case doesn't mean that your 401k plan is going to allow you to elect one of those things, because there's a lot of things that are involved. So it might be a bit before you can actively say, yep, I want to invest in this and I want to invest in that within your 401k plan. And like a lot of times that is what people's savings are, is the 401k plans. They don't do it outside of that. And so I guess I'm looking at iTrust Capital personally as an avenue to save some money, save money in a digital asset that I personally believe in. And there's a variety of them within iTrust Capital that they offer, that I can feel comfortable and know that it's going to grow tax free. And so if these assets, if you're here dipping your toe and you believe that these assets are going to appreciate in value like we all do, whether it be next year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, 2040, depending on how old you are, that could end up being quite a fruitful decision that you make at a young age right now, throwing $1,000 at something. So, or 500, whatever. I think you have to open it up at, for 1,000. I think it is, on iTrust Capital. However, you can, open Roth IRAs for a smaller amount elsewhere. They don't necessarily have crypto Roths or anything. They don't have the crypto ones, but the most important thing you want to do if you don't have one is to start your 5-year mark. So in order for it to, for you to grow it tax free, and it could be just a small little amount that you open up, especially this is a play for little kids. Like if you got little kids and you could open a crypto Roth for them at a young age, do it and forget about it. You start their 5-year clock, and then by the time they're time to retire or they want to withdraw money out, they've already held a crypto Roth for 5 years or a Roth IRA for 5 years. They've satisfied that requirement, and you're good to go. So if you're not near 55, 50, 58 or whatever it is, 59, retirement age, whatever, do it now. Just do it. And without further, I'm gonna introduce our sweet. I just saw. If you want to finish your statement,
fanboying.
I'm like, and he's right on time, which is fantastic. But do you have final thoughts on that subject?
No way. That'll be the show right there if I do it. I know it. So let's bring our guest of honor in this evening.
Oh, great. So like I said, in the second hour, we're deep diving into the Canton Network with our special guest, Scott Long of LongView Compute. And Scott is he is the founder and builder of LongView Compute. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran and former freight brokerage pro who dove into crypto in 2019, same year as me. Scott faced some life-challenging changes with multiple strokes in 2022, and he turned that fuel into fuel, teaching himself to build with AI as his pair programmer and launching LongView Crew, the first major non-custodial retail dApp on the Canton Network. Scott's YouTube channel has become a go-to hub for clear, no-hype breakdowns on Canton. He interviews key figures like digital asset CEOs and live building sessions. He's all about education first, onboarding, and helping everyday users learn about the protocol, transact safely with their own keys, and participate in his institutional grade ecosystem. So without further ado, let's get Scott in here. Welcome to the Dip a Toe Show. How you doing, my friend?
I don't know what to do with that intro. Oh my goodness. Hopefully. Whew.
Yeah, I think you need to use it, print it out PDF. Anytime you do an event, you say, "Here, read this."
just record it and stick it in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, totally. Scott, welcome to the Dip a Toe Show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you're so here's the deal. I know a little bit of facts about you, kind of, or I think I do, and so I kind of wanted to have you introduce yourself to folks. I kind of already told them that you're a U.S. Air Force veteran, and you spent years in the freight brokerage before you discovered crypto. Is that correct?
Money.
Right. So basically, believe it or not, let me take you back to the very beginning, I guess. I am an Air Force veteran. I spent 6 years in the Air Force. I joined in 2005, and then I ended up injuring my ankle and had to have reconstructive surgery done on my ankle, and I couldn't run anymore after that. But during the military is when I actually had my first introduction to crypto, to Bitcoin. I made my first Bitcoin purchase back in 2010. Back when I was playing a game called World of Warcraft, because I'm an ultra nerd. And I wanted to get a second account, but that was not allowed. So you couldn't transact it with US dollars. So they made you go buy Bitcoin. So that was actually the first introduction I had to Bitcoin was in 2010.
Interesting.
But then I got out of the Air Force, and because I loved gaming, I actually started out as a retail store manager when I got out of the Air Force. I was a store manager for GameStop for 6 years or 5 years. And then I got into freight brokerage and did that for 10 years. And that's when I started regularly investing into crypto. I didn't keep any of the Bitcoin from 2010. Believe me, I wish
nobody
I
did. Right.
But well, the thing is I think I left some on the computer. But on. Like, because I always bought a little bit extra, right? Especially if you're going to do some kind of transaction. So I probably had like 7, 8, 9 Bitcoin or something like that left over. But I don't have the computer anymore. I wouldn't even know where to find it. I didn't think Bitcoin was going to be extremely valuable back then.
Yeah, no
one even knew. And you've been around long enough to know you can't cry over spilt milk.
Oh, no.
You know, there's no crying when it comes to the digital asset space right now, you know. But I think it's super cool that you were navigating around that that early on.
Right. I wish I would have paid more attention to it then. Don't we all though, right?
So can you walk us through your journey? What initially pulled you into crypto itself? Like what made you start really diving into it?
Well, so 2019 came along and I started hearing that. I feel like that's when there was really a buzz going on about all the different altcoins popping up and what they could potentially do. And I started looking into things like VeChain and XRP because my belief was I was around during the internet era, but I was too young to really understand what exactly was happening. And to me now, I look at blockchain and that revolution very similarly to the internet revolution that we all had, as kids. I'm 42, so I was graduating during the .com bubble pretty much. So I didn't have the opportunity to invest in any of that stuff, and I see a similar trajectory with blockchain. So I started looking at, okay, the most money on the internet was made with infrastructure. It wasn't the million web pages that popped up. It was the Rails. It was the infrastructure. It was the HTTPS. It was, it was ACH. It was all these things that came from the internet, not all the individual apps or web pages or whatever you want to call them. So I was looking for institutional Rails because I thought that's where the money was going to be. And XRP is the banker's coin, right? It's the institutional coin. They have the largest infrastructure. And that's what I first got involved in because I saw they were getting plugged into the real infrastructure that's driving the value around the world. And as I continue to dig recently, I stumbled into the Canton Network and started going head first into that because I believe in the tokenomics and I believe in the use case and of course the adoption that they've had. And it looks like a lot of other people are starting to catch on to that adoption trend that's been going on over the last few months.
That's fantastic. I think, yeah, exactly. We see the same things, right? You
Right.
stumble upon it, you make these comparisons between what happened back in the day and if we would have known then or realized then what we know now. And we're not missing this opportunity, right? We see it. The writing is on the wall. We know the builders are out there. They're laying this new infrastructure down. It's all going to be interoperable with each other. I'm curious. So I know that from what I found out about you did have some health issues that kind of took you in a different path and that ultimately led you to become a builder. You want to talk about that a little bit? Because I mean, you pretty much taught yourself a lot of stuff, which is pretty incredible, my friend.
So in 2022, I kind of got hit with a wall of things. 2022 was not a good year for me. Shortly after, we all just lost a ton of money in crypto in 2021 towards the end of that bull run, whatever you want to call it. But then in 2022, my mother passed away, and then 6 weeks later, I woke up and went to get out of bed. Woke up to my alarm to go to work. Went to get out of bed and fell. My entire left side was gone. I couldn't use it. I had multiple strokes in my sleep, and then now I got 95% of everything back. So I can walk. I can do all the things. I still golf. I still do the rowing machine. So 95% of everything came back. I'm very, very lucky in that regard, but I do have to deal with migraines, headaches, short-term memory loss, things like that make it impossible for me to work a normal job because I don't know. Right. I don't know when a migraine's gonna come along and knock me out. Now I can't work the rest of the day. Bosses don't like it when you show up, work for 2 hours and leave. So I ended up having to go on long-term disability, and I don't like sitting still. I still feel like I have stuff to offer. I just need to be able to do it at my pace. Sure. So I started YouTube, and then when I found Canton Network, I did a stream today comparing Canton or CC to oil. And I think it's an excellent comparison because the bulk of the money to be made in, I believe, the crypto industry moving forward, even though we love to invest and make money as investors, I feel like the money that's going to be made is going to be done by the builders. Much like in the oil industry, the people who make the money are the people producing the oil.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like the picks and the shovel for the gold rush, right? Like it wasn't so much the people getting finding the gold; it was all the picks and shovels that were sold during that time, and the economies that it built for all the people going there to try to find the gold and whatnot. So exactly, yeah, I did listen to your stream today. I thought that was really interesting. So let's dive into the Canton Network. Sure. For someone who's never heard about it, what exactly is the Canton Network in simple terms?
In simple terms, the Canton Network, I'll explain it how I think retail investors would like to hear it, I guess. I always try to put it in that lens. So the Canton Network in simple terms is a network or a blockchain that was created by digital asset. And so think Ripple and XRPL for those XRP holders. So digital assets, the company. Now, Canton Network, the thing that makes it different from most blockchains scale vertically, right? They keep adding things on top of it. Canton Network scales infinitely horizontally. So there can be an infinite amount of Canton Network blockchains. There can be an infinite amount of Canton Network global synchronizers. So therefore, there can be an infinite amount of TPS, right? Now, as we say, it expands vertically. If you look at it from a top-down lens, right, there's still one global synchronizer. There's still one Canton Network. It just and then comes back together depending on what it needs to do. That's the unique technology because they have so many validators, so many super validators. It all continuously flows and they can keep scaling it out infinitely based on the needs of the blockchain.
I'm trying to visualize it. And my first thought was like train tracks. And I was like, well, I don't think it's really train tracks because I can't really, but basically it's like a net, they're all connected to each other, right?
Think like a parallel universe, right? Like a wormhole, Yeah. They're all the same, but they're all different.
Yep. I get it. And they all communicate so they can all communicate with each other. But yet they have their own little own area of privacy, even though that information is passing through. These guys don't need to know what these guys are doing, but it can all flow through each other.
Correct. Yeah. In a sense that's why you have the validators and the super validators to validate the transaction, and why you have the infinite amount of Canton networks. So that way, for instance, say me and Simon want to do a transaction, but he doesn't want you to see it. So he and I can spin up our own private subnet, do our transaction. The only people who are involved in the transaction are the ones who can see it. And then say you and I want to do another transaction. Well, me and Melissa can go spin up another private subnet and have our transaction that only she and I can see. So it's different from ZKP in the sense that ZKP, no one can see anything with zero knowledge proofs.
There you go.
Which doesn't work for institutions because they still need to be able to see the transaction, log it if they need to make changes. Again, both or all parties have to agree to the changes or it doesn't go through. That's the atomic settlement part of it.
Yes.
Either the whole thing settles or it doesn't settle at all, which sounds very trivial when you're talking about, you know, 2 assets or 2 partners. But when you start getting into this stuff that's automated with 30 partners amongst 40 different assets, that composability or that atomic settlement becomes very, very important. And I'm supposed to be talking this very simply, and I feel like I'm getting very complicated now.
Well,
no. That's good.
no,
I mean,
I
you're taking it from a 2-person transaction. Okay, very, very simple. Okay, but really not applicable or doesn't really highlight the need for the atomic settlement, right? When you get into crowds, business deals, multiple companies, multiple deals, acquisitions, etc., far beyond the normal everyday probably discussion or workload of your average everyday Jane or Joe. That is very much needed. Even in here's a simple transaction that maybe would be related to what you're just talking about. The sale of a home. There are multiple and multiple 5, maybe 5 parties involved, but there's 5 plus 2 people per party. Okay, you're talking 10 people here, right? 10 different opinions of how something needs to go. I don't want it to do it like that because of this. I don't want this, blah, 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 blah. So I think that transaction is, you know, most people could wrap their head around of like, oh yeah, having it's either we're all doing this or deal's done. We're not moving forward, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's see here. The Global Synchronizer Foundation was quite a mouthful. They call it Canton Foundation. Oh yeah, they do have the Canton Foundation now. Yeah, it was originally the Global Synchronizer Foundation. That's pretty funny though.
That's Uncle Ron for that you know Uncle Ron from X.
Yes,
that's who put that comment.
Gotcha.
So I guess we just kind of talked about the configurable privacy model, in why it's a big deal for institutions because they're not. It's a need to know basis. They have common kinds of information that they share, but they don't necessarily need to see each other's information. But because they're and I'm thinking out loud here, because they're kind of connected, that information can flow through to the party that needs to see it. Am I correct?
Kinda in the sense it's if you're whenever you're spinning up a transaction, it's not a matter of if or anything like that. Only the people who are involved in the transaction see it. It's not put on a public ledger for everyone to see. That's not what the institutions won't work that way. They're just not going to.
No.
So it's just a matter of spinning up a private subnet and doing the transaction, and then once you're done, you're done.
Yep. I like that. I really, really like that actually, because that upgrades so much efficiency wise. That upgrades the process of getting a deal done.
Right.
In any business, in any loads.
Yeah.
Right. Loads. That works great for loads. It's like, well, we need to do a deal. We need the information to flow freely. However, it's for eyes only. So here we go. Sub network, you and me. Boop, boop, boop. Here's this. Here's that. Here's this. Okay, cool. Subnet's gone, but it does show a transaction between parties. But the information on that transaction, more stuff that we would be able to see on other blockchains, very much not visible on the public blockchain, right?
We are, with the exception of the people involved in the transaction that need their paperwork or need their paper trail or all those things. It reduces risk is what it does. It reduces risk for these institutions. Now, granted, public DeFi is great, but there's a lot of risk. And I think we've seen that this year. And that's, I never thought institutional finance was going to go the direction of, retail public DeFi because of that. But we're seeing it play out in real time now. I mean, JP Morgan and them are spinning up their own blockchain. That we've seen them discussing that in the first half. Are they going to use someone else's blockchain? I don't know. JPM coin is launching natively on Canton this year. Just a thought.
Go ahead, Melissa. You go first.
Well, if you're gonna piggyback onto that, I'm gonna ask a separate question. So go ahead and piggyback what
I was a little bit. It's kind of a thing that I've noticed with corporations. They will snuggle up to the new thing. They will learn everything they can about it. And then eventually they will 100% do their own thing. They see the value. They're late to the table, but that's how they kind of operate anyways. They don't want to be the first ones to jump in. They would rather be the last one, learn everything about it after bugs are worked out, apply it to their situation, make good partnership, and then go, okay, well, we've seen everything about you. We're out. And then they go do their own, in the background, they're creating their own thing. A great example is back in the day, pre-2020, there was the app called DoorDash, just like Uber Eats. Well, DoorDash hooked up with Walmart. Walmart was like, yeah, deliver our groceries. Sweet. But now Walmart has their whole own network, whole app, whole payment system, the whole coup de grace. So I could see that. I could definitely see that happening. Hence why institutional is taking that air quotes risk of joining public DeFi because they're learning. They're really, really learning.
Well, I mean, you can look at it from the Canton Network point of view in the sense that they built their blockchain backwards. They kind of did that themselves, right? While everyone else was getting sued by the SEC and figuring it out, they're sitting here looking, okay, how can we build this? And they're talking to Goldman Sachs and they're talking to Microsoft and Moody's and JP Morgan and all of these financial institutions that back them, finding out exactly what their customers want. And they were building it behind the scenes and didn't actually release the blockchain until 2023. But they had been working on it since 2014.
Yep.
So what are some of these major institutions and partners that are already live on Canton?
Let's see. DRW TradeWeb, obviously at Broadridge with the repo is the biggest one, doing roughly $400 billion a day in repo. Which when you think about it, it's really only about 3% to 5% of U.S. market. So it's really not a lot in comparison.
For our dip-a-toers, can you just briefly say what repo means? So
repo is essentially a payday loan for major institutions. Think of it this way. At the end of the day, you have your assets, your cash, your debts, all those things. And major companies have to hold a certain amount of cash on their books. They have to by law. So they'll do an intraday repo, essentially like, okay, I need a loan for cash to keep on my books. I'll give you some of my treasuries as collateral or some of whatever they're putting up as collateral. And they're taking that short-term loan just to have the money on their books at the close of business. That's a repo transaction. And it happens, I believe the average daily volume, I think on that globally is 11 trillion. And daily volume. So that's what Broadridge is starting to do on their blockchain is it's about 3% of that United States repo.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
and
really
Payme says DTCC on the way, July soft launch, October launch is the and shout out to Marvin Davis. Smash the button. Thank you, Marvin Davis.
What up, Pay Me? He's
Clay,
one of my subscribers.
Oh, yeah. Clay Howerton's peer-to-peer transaction would be great on there because we don't need the greedy banker seeing transactions. That's what Clay says.
There you go.
So I kind of want to move in a little bit to a lot of people got really excited about the Grayscale Canton ETF filing. Do you know about that a little bit? And if so, can you break it down about what does it actually mean for Canton Network?
Yeah. So it was just announced. Again, that's going to be more retail buy pressure. So for instance, like people in New York City still can't buy Canton coin. There's a lot of people in the United States that still can't buy Canton coin. So by a grayscale ETF is going to open the market up to those people. And most people are, let me back up real quick. People like you, me, people watching, we are really like less than 1% of the population. No one is, in the grand scheme of things, no one is going out and buying these tokens. So what an ETF does is it puts it on everyone's radar. Now it's at every single, brokerage office or investor. They all now have access to this. It's going to open up a lot more retail buy pressure for CC, especially as people get wind of it. Now, there was some interesting information inside the paperwork that they released for that ETF. They revealed that 89% of all the CC tokens are held by 100 wallets. So that was giving a lot of people pause for concern with the Canton Network because of that distribution. But think of it this way. Canton noted that and said, yeah, we're going to do this anyway. If that tells you anything.
I don't have this in my list of questions, but I intended to ask about it. So can you talk, because, well, actually it is, any concerns around token supply concentration that people should know about? So my question really is the tokenomics. Simon and I briefly touched on it earlier. And when I was researching Canton Network, I saw some similarities to say like what we learned about the Zebek network and their token and being used to pay for the Zebek network, and then having them be able to pay with it, and then having it get burned, and kind of creating that whole flywheel effect. And so when I was listening to some different stuff on Canton Network, I thought I heard him say something very similar to that. Can you talk about that a little bit and why you think this is good tokenomics for that token?
Absolutely. So before we get to CC being burned, which you are correct, CC are burned in every single transaction that runs through the global synchronizer. But I'm going to give you the full context because a lot of people talk about it and don't discuss the full context of the burn and mint schedule. So minting, they decided to release over the first 10 years, they're going to release 100 billion tokens. At the very beginning, they started out with 40 billion for the first year, and that was over 6 months. So essentially 20 billion in the first 6 months, and then they halved it, and then it went down to 20 billion for the next year, and then just in January, they halved it again to 10 billion. And then in 2029, they'll half it again, goes down to 5 billion, and then in 2034, once it releases the full 100 billion tokens, it gets halved again down to 2.5 billion, and that'll be their permanent inflation of 2.5%. So the mint schedule is constantly going down. And also speaking of the concentration, and we'll get to that part, at the very beginning, super validators were needed most and provided the most utility to the network to help actually build the blockchain, and they received the bulk of the rewards. So super validators received 80% of all the rewards to help build up the blockchain. After that first halving of coins, the super validators got halved too. And then they went down to 40% of the token supply goes to the super validators. And then in the most recent one, it was halved again. So now they're only getting 20%. So now the bulk of the rewards, 62%, actually goes to app developers. So they're rotating where the rewards go based on what's going to drive value to the network. And at the same time, those tokens are depreciating in the sense it went from, 20 billion a year to 10 billion a year, and then it'll be 5 billion and then 2.5 billion. So now that's the mint schedule. Now everyone knows where the tokens are, who got them, and how they got them. How are they burning? Every single transaction that runs through the global synchronizer must burn Canton coin. There's no way around it. Now, the fees will be denominated in dollars. So say, for instance, we're doing a transaction for easy math that's $100. you have to burn $100 worth of Canton coin. That's how that transaction goes through. So as more transactions run through the global synchronizer, more Canton will be burned, pushing up the burn to mint equilibrium. But what the craziest thing about it is they're doing about $2 million to $3 million in fees right now. About 15 million CC per day are being burned. It's 8% of the supply so far has already been burned.
Wow.
8% of the supply that's been released to this point. So of the about 40 billion tokens, I think, that have been released, 8% have been burned. So no one's burning as fast as them. But here's the crazy thing. We talked about the private subnets, right? None of them burn CC. This is all happening only through the main global synchronizer. So the Broadridge repo that we talked about, the HSBC pilot you hear about, the Japanese bond pilot you hear about, all of these things, none of them burn CC yet. It's coming. Okay. They have already announced that they are working on a new CIP. They're working through it. Yuval Ruse has confirmed it himself multiple times. He said we'll be seeing a CIP coming soon discussing it.
You know, I'm so glad that this show is recorded because my mind is going do. I'm like listening to everything. And so, I mean, this is the coolest thing. Like even with XRP and figuring out the way that they've done it, figuring out the way, learning about the way Bitcoin did its tokenomics. And then even my friends that are building things on the ledger, they're kind of creating their own tokenomics. And, you know, you start to really get in touch with the overall concept at the end of the day, what the goal is. How do you build a decentralized system where there's not just one owner in something? You get people to put in the work. So like the proof of work concept, you know, you've got your nodes and they're building that like base layer and they got rewarded from it. But it's like, hey guys, it ain't going to stay that way. You're not going to always be getting these tokens. You're helping build the foundation. Now we're going to shift and we're going to start paying the people that are going to be building the apps, which we're going to talk about you because you're a very important piece of this puzzle also. So yeah, I and then, then the concept that they have to use the Canton coin, right? Within this. So they're going to pay with them. And like, I'm just trying to still figure out how the cycle goes. I can see when you're decreasing the supply and as the minting of them go smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're decreasing the supply at the same time, it's going to increase the scarcity, which is then going to increase the value of said coin. Right.
Econ 101.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, this is interesting, and I would love to see it like all written out so my mind can. But continue on with just what you were talking about, the tokenomics, and then I do want to get into your building because you've built an app on the retail side of things where you're kind of coming in. So I want to have time to be able to talk to you about that. But
yeah, so on the tokenomics, there is a key part that a lot of people don't talk about when they're talking about the bull side of things, and that is the other side of the burn to mint equilibrium. Once you go above a 1.0, say token price rises to a great number, right? Say CC becomes $5 a token. You're still only paying $100 in fees for the same transaction. So now you need less tokens. So the utility is going to have to continue to increase. Otherwise, that burn to mint is going to be pushed down. That's why I think the oil analogy is very, very good that we talked about earlier, because if the need for oil isn't there, the need is going to go down, and then they'll reduce supply in order to push it up. So it very, very much works similarly to oil or a stock or another kind of usable commodity, because essentially it is the fuel that makes the Canton Network go. Yep. So there is an equilibrium point that the price will get to based on the utility where it won't go higher. And as retail investors, I try to make people aware about that. And when you're looking at the 89% concentration, just, don't worry. Super validators have to lock up 70% of their freshly minted tokens anyway. So the float's not as high as people think it is out there.
Well, and here's the thing. It just in my simple mind, and I could be wrong, but what I'm hearing and I'm seeing, given how you explained what it does,
right?
You have these players that they've decided we are going to be working together. We're building something. We're all sharing this. We might not even be friends. We might be competitors, but we're all building this. We all got a little piece of this pie. We all want our privacy, but we need to be interoperable with one another. And so everybody is, they're doing their work. They're getting their stake in the game and whatnot. And in hopes that at the end of the day, it's just going to be this continuous loop where, and it's still going to be, the dollar is still going to probably be what it's denominated in. But as the price of Canton coin goes up, it's still going to be the same kind of prices for whatever it is that you're doing. And so you'll need less of those coins, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
And which is a very powerful, a powerful thing, because generally you have companies that are often these silos and they just want to control everything. They don't, kind of like Apple didn't want to communicate with Android back in the day, or Windows didn't want to, they didn't want it to be interoperable because they wanted to be off, the side.
Right.
But they finally realized, you know what, I got to let you text your friend that has or communicate with a different kind of computer or whatever,
Right.
So
I think if blockchains aren't working to be interoperable, then they're not solving the problem blockchain was made to solve. There should be less fragmentation. There should be less silos. More fragmentation and silos just create more risk. So I think, look at the hacks. They've all been bridges recently. So we have to be able to work together. It's not going to work for institutional finance that way. It's just too much risk. And when we're talking about quadrillions of dollars of value with the DTCC, this is a matter of national security. It's not going to be on a random DeFi protocol. It's just not.
No, I feel you. So before we get to your retail access, real quick, how do you see Canton working alongside other chains and tokens? For example, do you see any synergy or potential integration with projects like Zebek or say XRP for cross-chain utility?
I absolutely do. I always, on my channel for the longest time, when I was talking about both projects, Canton and XRP, I thought they worked well together. Whereas Canton provided the back end settlement for the institutions and Ripple provided liquidity after. I still think they can fill that role, but it looks like that's what XLM's also been selected to do by the DTCC. Again, XRP's on that patent also. I know that. I do hold a bag of XRP as well. Yeah. So we have to deal with that. I lost my train of thought. Let me get back because I was talking about the DTCC. Where do I see Canton going with interoperability, right? Yeah. So I see them working with Ripple as far as liquidity purposes, XLM as far as liquidity purposes. Quant is highly involved with a lot of the same players I've seen. It's going to have to be an interoperable world. There's no world where only one token wins. Personally, again, CC is a gas token on a back-end settlement institutional layer. It's not there to be money or compete with XRP or Zebek. Now, as far as ties to Zebek, that's where I was going. There already is a connection. If you look at Lattice, Zebek actually partnered with Lattice well before XRP Vegas to do the first neobank on Canton. So Zebek's already been involved with Canton for about 6 months. I know there's some more stuff coming with neobanks in the near future. I would assume Zebek is going to be involved with that as well. Chainlink is a validator on Canton Network. And then if you're talking about growing out and you're talking about institutions, look at where they plant their flag. Look at where they're building, follow the money. Visa became a super validator on the Canton Network. Circle became a super validator on the Canton Network. Chainlink and Layer 0 are fighting on who's going to be the next one. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know.
Well, and here's the thing. There's nothing to say that they can't dip their toe in many different areas, right? If you have the capability of becoming a validator on a network that's being built, that's potentially going to solve a real world use case problem, why wouldn't you do it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of times you hear all this different kind of news out. It doesn't necessarily mean it could mean everything and it could mean nothing all at the same time. But of course, normally we're not paying attention to this kind of stuff. We don't give this kind of stuff attention. Normally, the average person is not going to say, I think I should look into Canton Network today.
Right.
They might hear somebody talk about it briefly and just be like, I don't even know. I'm the kind of person that when Uncle Ron said Canton Network, I've been doing a little bit of work with Canton Network. I was like, Canton Network, wrote it down. I've heard that before. And you'll start looking into it, but a lot of people don't. Even this is not even on their radar. So this being an incredible opportunity for someone who's looking for something that could possibly be a future mainstay of how we operate, how companies and banks and that sort of thing, institutions operate and move this money around. So it's worth looking into. We've got about, I want to say like 18 minutes left. Is there anything you want to talk about left on this particular topic? Because I really want the audience to know about your retail access to Canton Network and what you've built. It's incredible. Your website is beautiful. So I definitely want to spend some time talking about that.
Well, we can segue into it. How about that?
All right.
Another one of the biggest misconceptions with the Canton Network is that it's not for retail. Because number one, most retail don't even know about it, and majority of retail don't want to get involved in DeFi. I would say 95% of crypto holders, their crypto never leaves the exchange. And one of the things I'm trying to do is make it easy, safe, and educated for people to do that, especially with the Canton Network, because there are healthy DeFi options out there for you. For instance, I'm earning 8% yield on my Canton coin because I'm involved in DeFi. So, and to me, it's with a safe place. But again, everything comes with risk, not financial advice to anyone. But the idea is to get people into a situation where they can learn about these things and these tools safely, because as we move forward with tokenization, because real world asset tokenization is all coming, we can all agree with that. We're not putting that toothpaste back in the tube. So with tokenization is going to come the ability to DeFi everything. And when I say the ability to DeFi everything, if you want to go buy tokenized stocks, tokenized Tesla, tokenized Apple, whatever, and then put that into a lending pool and earn yield on it, or say you tokenize your car and use that collateral and put it into a lending pool, like what's going to be available to do and how to participate and actually earn money with your assets like the rich people do is what's coming on chain with tokenization. And liquidity begets more liquidity. So as Canton continues ramping up with all these institutional items, tokenized treasuries, tokenized bonds, it's going to bring more and more value to the blockchain and therefore more options for retail users to get things with their tokenized stocks and things like that.
So how does a retail investor get involved? Like you built, and correct me if I'm wrong, were you the first one to build a dApp for Canton Network on the retail side? Are you one of the first?
I am one of the first. I am not the first. So I actually didn't meet him until after I launched on the DevNet. I didn't even know about his app till after I launched on the DevNet. But there's another app called CC Tools, and we are different. we're two sides of we're two different sides of the same coin. He focuses on analytics and data analysis and things like that. Also like tracking network activity and those things. That's mainly where he focuses. And I'm focused on retail education. So the entire purpose of my app is you literally, if you land on the landing page, it says, okay, you bought CC. Now what do you do? It's to help you get from exchange to wallet to DeFi in a very, very safe way and an educated way. So that way you're never at risk of losing anything unless you're willing to take that risk.
Can I share the link to your app in the chat?
Absolutely. Go for it.
I'm going to share it so people can take a look. And if you want it, you taught yourself how to build this too. That was the other thing that really impressed me with you. Like a lot of my friends, some have previous experience with coding and whatnot, and others just diligently taught themselves how to build.
Right. So really, I was sitting there one night. Believe it or not, it was my birthday. I remember exactly when it was. It was my birthday. I was sitting there, and I was like, I learned that the bulk of the best way to earn CC, because I was already involved in CC at that point. I was like, okay, how do I earn CC? How do I get more CC? What can I do from here? I believe in this project. And as I continued researching it, I'm like, well, 62% of all freshly minted CC go to the app developers. And I was watching the Paul Barron interview with Yuval Ruse, and Yuval telling Paul Barron that I think an educational app or an educational validator would be a huge value to the Canton Network. And he laughed it off and was like, oh, blah, blah. I'm like, screw it. I'll build it. So I started researching how to do it with Grok, and then I got into Claude and taught myself how to code with Claude, and it's fairly simple once you get the hang of it. Honestly, to me, it's a way, like if you have the vision, you can build it. If you have the vision, you can build it when it comes to Claude. Honestly, it definitely unlocks a lot of power. So I taught myself how to code with Claude, and the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
That's
do
cool.
you want?
Love hearing that.
I don't know if you want to bring your if you want to share your website or anything. Feel free if you'd like to.
Let me see.
Let
me pull it up here.
Trying to find my username and password when I was beta. It's very pretty. It looks really nice, and I'd love for people to take a look-see at it, because I do think this is something to give yourself a little bit of attention to this.
Where'd my screen go? Let's see. Where's my? I lost my. There it is. Okay. Let me see if I can share this now. Let me pull this over here and try and share my screen so I can. All right.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No. Share screen. Share screen. That one. Okay. Hopefully it'll pop up here for you. There we go.
I'm going to put it nice and big too, so everybody can see it.
So this is where you will land, and right now it is in beta. So if you guys want access, you don't need to join the wait list. I need to fix it anyway, but it's going to the old server. I had to update servers because the app got hacked and I had to remove everything. But let's see here. So we are in beta, and what you would do from this point is once you get here, you would click login and then continue with app provider. Once you get here, you would need your beta code. It'll say Phoenix something, and then it'll have an LVC something or other. You'll put that in here, and it'll prompt you to change your password after that. So once you save your password, you end up coming into the screen, and this is what it looks like. You can come over and learn about the wallets. I'm going to disconnect my wallet here because the first thing it's going to do is teach you how to hook up a wallet. It gives you a list of the available wallets you can use, their different strengths, their different weaknesses, wallets that are coming up. And you can actually log into a wallet. I use the Loop wallet right now. So I can actually log into my Loop wallet and go and view my portfolio right here in the app. This is non-custodial. I never see your keys. I never touch your crypto. And I can actually send CC. I could send USDX, which is the, or USDCX, excuse me, which is the Canton version of USDC.
Is that like a wrapped version of that? Kind of like
Yeah.
how XRP gets wrapped on Flare or whatever,
Yes.
type thing. Okay.
Pretty much. It's just it's a wrapped or Canton compliant version of USDC. They are going to be having more native tokens now that Circle's a super validator. I believe there might just end up being a native token for Canton Network. But so you can come here. You can send actual CC to people. So whenever I do giveaways and stuff, I usually send it straight here from my app. And then you can learn about the different DeFi that is available before you actually engage in anything. There's over 20 different learning modules to teach you all about the Canton Network.
That's awesome.
Then we have our DeFi toolkit, which shows you what you can do on the Canton Network right from this app. You can send your CC or USDCX. You can do a member traffic top up, which again, most retail isn't going to mess with, because this is going to be more for institutional use as far as the traffic top up. And what that is essentially they have to pay gas fees, but most of them don't hold CC. So there's actually mechanisms to where they can convert their USDC to CC seamlessly, automatically during the transaction. And that's what that is.
That makes sense.
You can create transfer pre-approvals, same thing. And then Canton name service, which is coming soon. That will be to where you can change your ID. So instead of having this long random number, I can change it to scottlvc.canton. And that's my wallet address. So that's what I'm working on installing in the app. So that way you get your CC on an exchange. You come to the app, get yourself set up with a wallet. You can change your wallet ID. So now you don't have to worry about remembering some long, stupid number and potentially losing it, or having any kind of problems with that. Create your own Canton Network ID, and then you're ready to transact or move into the Canton ecosystem. They have lending and yield protocols. They have swap protocols. More things are coming. There's native staking that's going to be coming soon to the Canton Network with CC. And then, of course, this is always growing out more and more, and we update it as we get more information. But I've had Alpend on my channel and OneSwap on my channel to this point as well.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful app. One thing I would like to ask before, and I can put that back. Oh, I turned my camera off. I can put that back on there.
Oh, it's fine. I was just clicking through it.
Yeah. No. Well, what I was going to ask is, and we got about 5 minutes left. What wallet? So for someone like myself, I'm not familiar. I don't own the Canton coin. I don't know about the wallets and whatnot. And so when I was in your app and looking around, I'm like, well, I've never heard of these wallets before. So can you just kind of go over that, that there are specific wallets for the Canton Network that are trusted, and where folks can get those so that they don't become victim to, downloading something from some squirrely site or whatever?
Absolutely. Great question. So when we're looking at the wallets and we're talking about it, so I would say the most used wallet is going to be the Loop wallet, which is Canton Loop. It'll be let me pull up the website here. Let me see if I can find the website. I want to make sure that I'm pulling up the right thing here. I wonder if I can just do. Oh, it won't. This is the one that's being screen shared. I don't know if it'll let me duplicate it out.
Oh, I see.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Is it?
You want me to remove it and then you can do.
Let me see here real quick. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah. So it's cantonloop.com. Let me pull it up. I'll show you guys what it looks like. This is the. Let me see if I can fix my screen. Share. No. Oh, here we go. So if I stop sharing that and then share this one, share screen, Loop. So this is the Loop wallet, if that's showing up now.
Yep.
And you can go to cantonloop.com. This is probably the most integrated with all of DeFi. This is my DeFi engagement wallet. This is what I use to deploy things into Alpend or OneSwap or anything like that. And then if you want a cold storage wallet, there is only one, and that is the CypherRock X1 wallet. Looks like this.
It's quite a name.
Looks like this.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that's the CypherRock X1 wallet. And it is the only one that you can actually store Canton coin on right now. Apparently, Ledger is supposed to be imminent.
Oh, okay.
With their support. That's what I heard from Yuval anyway.
Nice. But the go-to wallet, if you want to dip your toe into Canton Network, you want to go to cantonloop.com and get that wallet from there, right? Now,
Right.
If I hit Loop, so like don't have an account, sign up. So is this a browser-based wallet then? Is that what it is?
It is a browser-based wallet, and they also do have an app.
Okay, that's what I wondered. So they have an app.
I mean, they also do have a phone app. How about that?
Oh, is it available to like download from like the Play Store and that sort of thing?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Right.
Just make sure it is Canton Loop.
Yeah.
Don't download it. I personally haven't messed with the phone app one.
Yeah.
Because of everything that happened with Ledger and their phone app and everything.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean,
if you're gonna dip your toe and your app is so beautiful to be able to look on a big screen, I really would think I'd prefer to do it on a computer at this point, especially if you're teaching yourself something.
Right.
But can you just confirm that I have the right address? I have cantonloop.com, and it brought it up for me.
Yes.
And you can sign up. You can even, if you get an invitation code from somebody, so they must have some kind of a thing where you can put an invitation code if you have something from somebody.
Right. So
to sign up, if you want to share that.
I don't have any codes right now to get anything. But I will tell you, I'm getting some.
Okay.
You guys can always follow me on X. It's at LongView Crypto. I can reach out. I know if I don't have any codes right now, if you need one, I can reach out to someone I know who has them.
Fantastic. Well, Scott, I really want to thank you for coming on the Dip a Toe Show. It's been fantastic having you. If you are able to come to our After Dark space at 1010 on X, that would be great. For those of you, I did post it in the chat. For those of you who might want to show up, and we'll continue our conversation over there on X. If you aren't following Scott, you definitely need to. It's LongView Compute on YouTube, and it's a great YouTube channel. He has a lot of deep dives in there. Very appreciate your information that you share, and I hope we can have you back on. Simon, any final thoughts?
No, that was really great, Scott. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. Really, you took something that was easily, the topic is where it's easy to go deep, but you kept bringing it back up to the surface, very easily digestible. So I tip my hat to you on that. I could totally follow along in the first grade level, 100%. So that's great. That's great. You have that ability to do that. And that's like super key in what you're offering on your website. I think that's really, really overly looked and very much needed, that we need to have that places to go to get information, to participate, not just to be in, cool, I'm in, but no, safely, securely, etc. So thank you very, very much.
I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you guys see the value. That makes me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to present value, and the fact that you guys see the value, that just tells me I'm on the right track. I appreciate that.
Yes, you're doing it. You are doing it. You definitely are doing it.
You are doing it, and I hope that you'll come to the After Dark space. Thank you so much again. Everyone, thanks for coming out, and we will see you next week on the Dip and Toe Show. It's Faces of Crypto. You don't want to miss it. Be there or be square. We'll see you in the After Dark space.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. And let's go. XRPL Cancun 2026. You don't want to miss this event.
Welcome and hello. Let's chat about the things that we'd like to know. With Simon and Melissa, you feel right at home. Talking crypto, maybe you should just dip your toes. You laugh and you love where the community grows. On the Dip and Toe Show.